The Steelers' offseason situation is getting more intense by the day. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Mike Tomlin, big names are at the center of decisions that could completely change the franchise's course. And while Pittsburgh seems to be focused on one priority, another might be slipping right through the front office's fingers. On top of that, an unexpected name has started to be linked to the team in the draft, and this possibility could take a lot of people by surprise. Don't miss any details and make sure to leave a like to support the channel. The Steelers are playing with time when it comes to Justin Fields, and patience could end up costing them. The franchise wants to settle its quarterback situation before free agency, and Fields appears to be the main target. But while this decision drags on, the wide receiver market is heating up. Christian Kirk and Tyler Lockett have already been released and are available to sign immediately. Devontae Adams could be on the trade block. DK Metcalf is also an option via trade. But here's the problem. The Steelers might want Metcalf, but he also needs to want Pittsburgh. And for that to happen, the team must have a set quarterback. The franchise seems to be trying to finalize a deal with Fields by the end of the week. What's holding things up? No one knows for sure. If Pittsburgh is stalling the negotiations, it's time to give in because the WR market can turn a team's offense around with just one signing. If Fields is hesitating, then the team needs a quick answer because time is running out. And every day of uncertainty lowers the chances of landing a top-tier receiver. Fields' contract could range between $10 to $20 million for 1 year. If the price goes beyond that, the Steelers might start wondering if it's better to explore another option, like Russell Wilson, and focus on bringing in talented WRs to support whoever the QB will be. The reality is that Pittsburgh cannot afford to wait too long and miss out on key free agents. The real deadline is March 10th, when the legal tampering period begins. But the sooner they resolve this, the better. It's time to make a decision. So Steelers fans, is Pittsburgh on the right path, or are they taking too long to act? Drop your thoughts in the comments. But hold on, because now comes an inside scoop that could hint at a surprising Steelers move for the franchise's future. The Steelers are about to face a wild offseason, and let's be honest, they can't afford to make mistakes this time, especially on offense. Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin haven't won a playoff game since 2016, which means nearly a decade of frustration for a franchise that prides itself on a winning tradition. And with this drought, many have started to ask, are the Steelers still an elite team, or are they falling behind? That's why the team needs to make bold decisions this offseason, starting with the quarterback. With Russell Wilson and Justin Fields now available, Pittsburgh has to quickly decide who will lead the offense in 2025. Fields seems to be the favorite, but that doesn't mean the team won't explore other options in the draft. Louis Riddick dropped an interesting piece of information on Get Up regarding offensive coordinator Arthur Smith and Louisville quarterback Tyler Shough. During the combine, Riddick spoke with Smith and mentioned that Pittsburgh might be eyeing a QB at the end of the first round. It's a guy like Tyler Shough. He's got a big arm, a lot of mobility. Keep an eye on this. Now, does this mean the Steelers are ready to go all in on Shough? Not necessarily, but the fact that Riddick threw this hint out there suggests that the franchise could be considering a QB as a long-term plan, even if Fields ends up being the starter in 2025. If Pittsburgh really goes after Shough, it would be a low-risk move, similar to what happened with Kenny Pickett in 2022. Back then, the Steelers felt they needed to draft a quarterback and ended up selecting Pickett in the first round. 2 years later, he was traded and the experiment was over. Are they willing to try again? Shough isn't one of the most hyped names in the draft, but his age and experience could make him an interesting developmental project. If he's available at the right time, Pittsburgh might see him as a depth piece at QB and a potential future starter. The draft is still a ways off, but the Steelers are already in the spotlight. If they truly pursue another quarterback beyond Fields, it could signal that this position remains a big question mark for the team. Now we wait to see if Pittsburgh will surprise everyone and pull the trigger on yet another QB. If the Steelers are seriously considering this new draft option, it says a lot about how the front office views the future of the team's most important position. The problem is, making the wrong choice here could be costly, and Pittsburgh doesn't have time for another gamble. The franchise needs to get this decision right. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on your team.